I'm so excited. Okay, so what is up, everybody? It's your girl Kelly J, affectionately known as Lioness J, and I am here with KBeauty's and pop culture influencer and creator, Miss Erica Carter.
Hello. So glad
Oh my
to
God,
be
Mama,
here.
you look so beautiful today.
Thank you. You do too.
Take a sip a sip of the water for like whatever you are drinking. We want to drink it, honey. Like the
Oh,
skin
thank
is
you.
glowing, the braids is out, honey. Amazing.
Right back at you. We're on the same vibe.
Yes, literally. Like, do you guys like see like we're both like wearing pink? We did not coordinate this at all.
No,
Like this
it's
was
just
just
alignment.
it is alignment. Like we're talking today about the legend of the female general. So I guess like the pink and like rose flare colors kind of just go with today's theme. It's very
Yeah.
much women empowerment. So we're just gonna keep it as that theme. So Erica Carter is basically like I told y'all, she is on KBeauty, always into like the what's going on in pop culture and everything like that. So I want to ask you, as you are transitioning into your content with K-dramas and C-dramas, what like drew you to the female general? Like what drew you to this Chinese drama?
In all honesty, after I watched The Pursuit of Jade, which was my first ever C drama, I was looking for something similar. I wanted historical, I wanted an epic romance, I wanted something where the men had long hair.
Yes. And you know, a lot of people, so this is so funny. So, like, a lot of people were talking about the differences between how masculinity is presented in American dramas compared to C dramas. I actually had to warm up to the long hair because I just felt like it would look so feminine. But I had a commenter tell me like actually long hair was a symbol for respect and honor for the ancestors. So like the longer the hair was, like the more like of the lineage that they were honoring. So I didn't even know anything about that, but that's what happens when you get into like these cultures and like understanding like Asian culture and things like that. So has there been any changes that you have seen also compared to American dramas and C dramas when it comes to masculinity?
Ooh, well, yeah. I mean, I feel like my expectation for like mature masculinity has raised 1,000%
Can we get into that, honey?
compared to the
Yes.
American shows because it's like I think that in the American shows, American dramas, even reality TV, it feels like everything is so easy for the American man.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
don't. I'm not trying to trash American men, but it's like, where's the sense of working for it, pursuing? Like,
Literally.
yeah, and I notice that in the C dramas and K dramas,
Yeah.
and I feel like they're really thoughtful. And
Yeah.
they're really intelligent, they're problem solvers. Like when the female leads, they have a problem, the men really try to solve those problems.
Literally, and I second that too because I was also talking to one of my friends who's into K dramas too, and she was saying how like American men tend to live in this hookup like culture where like well also we are in a patriarchal society, right? So
Right.
there's always this need to like serve the man, which is what kind of drew me to the female general because in this C drama we see that there is a really strong female lead and you don't necessarily see that, and so they marketed like the writers of this show marketed as like a love story, but honestly I like you and like guys like me and Erica have already kind of like had our like chats about it as us women do. Like when we talk about like female empowerment, we also see like that hard exterior female. And I think
Yeah.
that's what drew me to this character because she was not only a woman who was kind of like forced into this lifestyle of living her life of stealing her brother's identity to become the general that she was. Like she had a story, right? Like she had a lineage to like kind of like think about, and when we talk about like female empowerment, we often don't talk about, you know, the struggles and the challenges that it takes to, you know, be in a patriarchal society and like what it looks like to not be considered masculine, but still have our feminine traits as well. It's kind of like either you are like female and masculine presenting enough to be accepted, or
Right.
you're just like straight dainty, prissy, feminine, like the regular average feminine girl.
Stereotypical. Yeah, and honestly, like there's this whole concept that you have to be one or the other.
Right.
But
Literally.
why not both? Why not be who you are? Which is the whole concept of the female general. It's like, why do I have to choose to be a, dainty? I don't want to hold the door. I just want to live and not do anything, or I want to be a super boss babe, quote unquote independent woman. Why not be? If I am led to be an independent boss babe woman, why can't I be that and a feminine woman and have love? Why can't I have it all?
Exactly. I think so. When we talk about the feminine qualities, often like, so in American culture, we talk about like the gentleness, the meekness of a woman. When it comes
Mhm.
to character Hoyen, what feminine qualities would you say you related to with her? Like, what resonated with you with her character?
Okay, so I noticed she had a lot of feminine qualities, even though they weren't like straightforward or conventional. Like, for example, she was very empathetic. Whereas the men, the male generals in that series, like they're all stoic and cold and tough and hard. Now, although she dressed like a man, her identity was wrapped up in masculinity and she was fighting and kicking butt. She was way more compassionate than the other generals. She was very loving and she was very warm, which was why she's able to have that romance that built. She offered like a warmth that the men didn't offer.
Yeah. What did you
Yeah.
think about her? Like, so I know we talked about this before, but did you feel as though, like, how could y'all not, like, when we talk about like the stature of how she was, like, she was smaller than the rest, she was more, I guess, like skinnier, like in bone structure and everything to the rest. Would you feel like if you lived in that time period, you'd be able to like peep that that was a woman versus a man?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Because there's a woman that is in the series who knew she was a woman all along. Um, Yeah, and it was like later on in the series, and they went to go visit this house, and the woman, she, I guess, used to sing and perform at like a brothel or something. And when she was talking to the commander, she was like, "What happened to your buddy? What happened to your buddy, like that you used to always like help out and that was like weaker than you?" And he's like looking at her crazy, and she's like, that's a woman, right?
Exactly. And you know what's so funny? So, like, literally, when the commander had, there was this one scene in particular where so Hoyan had basically fought off these wolves for the sake of like her team. And then we see the commander coming to save her, right? And then, he was like wondering, like, there's something off about this soldier. Like, what is it? And then we see like the magic of like when he finally sees her and he helps her onto the horse and then she kind of like leans in and then he kind of feels her. I don't know what it was about that scene. I just thought that there was magic behind it. Like in my mind, like I was like, this is what it probably means when we talk about like the slow burn of how like the chemistry happens between two people, because I feel like even then he liked her. I don't know how to explain it, but like just the way that the producers and the writers of the show like wrote that scene, I was like, I feel like there was already like a magnetic like energy between those two. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Oh, for sure. I think from way back when they were in the academy together, it was
Yeah,
something I can't put my finger on, like you said, drawn to this person. And
yeah.
when she laid the girlies on him, he's like, "Oh, snap, that's a woman." Okay, now it's go time.
Yes. So what would you say? So out of their like full love story between the commander and Hoyan, what would you say was your favorite scene between those two?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. So
Yeah.
many. Okay, what comes to my mind immediately is when they're both wearing a mask and they're dancing and they're pretending to be husband and wife, and she's telling him 10 secrets. And she whispers to him, I'm in love with the moon, but the moon doesn't know it. And his face was like, oh snap, like she's talking about me. Like,
Literally.
that part was really dope.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene was when they were in the pool. And like so there was the they were so like they were coming from I guess like they were coming from doing their game or whatever, and the soldiers were trying to get her to wash up with them because they wanted to celebrate that they had
Yeah.
won. And literally like the minute the nephew finds out, he comes and warns the commander comes and grabs her, and they're kind of like, well, what's the problem? Like, why can't she just wash up with us? And he's just like, never again will she like come into the pool with y'all. And I think like for me, the masculine trait of a man who is protective,
Yes.
even if y'all like, so for example, like I know a lot of men, American men, they have like this notion that if a female is not my mom, if she's not my girl or whatever the case may be, I have no need to stand up for her. I have no need to protect her. But
Hmm.
seeing like actually the commander, whether they were together or not, he had more enough class and much of a gentleman like character to protect her and want to cover her in that moment. And so I think that that's a quality that a lot, like, not to bash American women, but I just feel, or American men, but like I just feel like American men need to do a better job at like protecting women in general.
Yeah, and especially for what's shown on TV and on social media.
Yes.
Yeah, because and two, because there, I do think there's a lot of American men that are protective of women, but it's like if you show it in today's time, I don't know, it's almost like this. Right now, I don't know what is going on, but like everything a man does is considered zesty. And
Yeah, like
it's like zesty.
like everybody loves saying like a man is sassy. God forbid
Yeah.
he cries or shares his feelings. He's sassy and zesty now.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's okay to do that. It's actually healthy because like expressing your emotions is actually a form of intimacy. I
Yeah.
feel like. And
Yeah.
it's okay to do that. You know, it's not soft if you do that. It's actually in my eyes, it increases your masculinity if you could
Yeah.
like have the vulnerability to like be protective, share how you're feeling. It's okay to shed a tear. I mean, that commander did shed a couple of tears throughout this series.
Okay. Say to me, if you can, if my man can shed a couple tears for me, even if it's a thug tear, like that one single,
Yes.
that one single tear, baby, yes, I'm all. I think that's why, in this story, the command out of all the characters, even including Hoi Yan, and I love seeing like strong female leads. I would say that the commander was my favorite character. I related the most to him because I feel like for me, coming from a lineage of strong women, um, it's really hard to be able to be vulnerable, even in the presence of other women. And I think that when we saw the beginning of their stories, when they were back at the scholarly academy, and we saw how Hoyan was often ostracized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't the best, scholar. She wasn't the best warrior. She wasn't the best at the academic levels. And so we're seeing like these, it's in bits and pieces of the commander, kind of like the start of how his leadership started. He was like sneaking her like mentor papers to show her how to fight the
Yeah.
sword. Like, he when she wasn't hungry, he would like leave like a little plate of, donuts or whatever for her to eat. Like, we were seeing the beginning stages of like how leadership is not a thing where it can kind of be taught. Like, it's a thing it has to be in you. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
me, it's like it's really hard for me at times to show people my soft side. So I'd rather not have like my kindness be shown publicly. Like, I'd rather be private about it. And then when it's time, right? Like, when it's time for me to be vulnerable, please know that that is a very sacred like moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm with you. And so, yeah, but who would you say is your favorite character? I know
It
we said it might have changed, like since we last talked. It might have changed.
honestly, and I know like it's between the female lead and the male lead because the level of inspired, like I got so heavily inspired by Heian.
Mm,
Heian, I don't know if I'm saying it right.
yeah,
The female lead, I was so inspired by her. I
yeah.
love how she was talking to the women and encouraging them. I love how she had integrity. I love how she was fearless. Because honestly, like I'm a big scary person, like, but lately, like since I watched Female General, I'm like, you know what? I have my chest up a little bit more. Like, I'm not afraid. Like,
Exactly.
like if I have to protect myself, okay, bring it on.
Yeah, like that's why we need to see more shows like this. That's another reason, like I said, that's another reason that drew me to this character anyway, because I think with all the C dramas and the K dramas that we see, it's always this weak, like not I don't want to say weak, but like this damsel in distress like character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, there are different traits of femininity. And I think we talked about this the other day. Like there's different traits of femininity, and I feel like not every woman has those qualities. Like you can still be assertive, you can still be a woman who's protecting herself and still be considered feminine. You know what I mean? Like there are some women who are just a little bit more, like I guess you could say, rough around the edges than others. Like I would probably consider myself a woman who's a little rough around the edges, but I am a huge marshmallow. Like when I'm comfortable with you, like I'm a huge marshmallow. And I think that's what we see eventually in the female general, because look at how she was around her boys. Like she
Yeah.
was always like, she never shown any qualities of being uncomfortable. I know me, when I'm around testosterone for too much of a long time, I'm like, oh, where are the women? Where is the estrogen?
Yeah.
Where
Well,
is
it's funny because she was around men, but she wasn't male centered.
yes.
But you know, she has such strong like self conviction. She
Mhm.
wasn't because and I did think about this at one point. I'm like, because when they found out she was a woman, like nobody really tripped off of it, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
they were shocked, but then they're like, okay, because she's in encampments with
Mhm.
hundreds and thousands of men, but she's not trying to get their attention. She's not trying to get validation from them. She has her own laser focus. So it kind of made it okay. Like she's not trying to seduce them,
No.
you know?
And that's the whole thing too. So I want you to stay there with, I'm so happy that you brought that up. I want you to stay right there when it comes to male centeredness. Like,
Mhm.
what do you feel like? Because there's always this thought that C dramas and K dramas are written by females. And it's actually not,
Mhm.
it was actually a 50-50. I have to do the statistics on it. But do you think that K dramas and C dramas would make the average woman a little bit more male centered than like a regular, the dramas that we see here in America? And do you think it's
Actually,
a problem?
no. Actually, I think that if more women watched K dramas and C dramas, it would give them a different POV of what love and romance could be. And they
Mhm.
would see that most of the women, from what I noticed, most of the leading women,
Yeah.
they're the ones being chased. They're
Mm,
the ones being pursued. They may like the guy, but they're not like chasing the men. Men are
yeah.
chasing them. So I think that it would actually encourage women to be less male centered and more like stepping into their own, like exploring something about themselves, like what is it about me that would make a man chase me like that?
Yeah.
Like looking more inward.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would think.
Yeah. Because we also have to understand that so there's different types of C dramas and K dramas. You and I just happen to fall in the historical romance category. And
Right.
majority of those stories involve women like living in a time period where they were lacked the resources, lacked the education, didn't have as much opportunities. So when we see like these female leads and things like that, I honestly feel like there's nothing wrong with it because it does show a different aspect of women overcoming those obstacles versus American dramas where you have like these female leads who are trying to be their own heroes and trying to be that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like femininity is like pushed 2,000 times more in America than it is in like Asian countries. You know what I mean? So for me, when I see like people like Hoyen, like, you know, teaching those women and telling them, hey, if you want a man, be you, be true to you, do you for you. You know what I'm saying? And so, and we saw like in those scenes that, you know, even though they kind of had this jealousiness of her, like I kind of liked how she handled that, and I kind of loved how the commander was like when they were like, oh, do you think we should save her? And the commander was just like, if she's over there, I'm not concerned about her at all.
I love
You know
that
what
part.
I mean?
She can take on 10 men or any one of these women. Like
Yeah, she can take on whatever, you know, and I think
I
I
like that.
aspire to
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like you don't want to be the yes girl. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be just like heading up someone else's dream while you're just sitting behind, you know, weaving. I think she said something like women are just seen as like child bearers or whatever the case may be. And it's just like you have more vision than that. And I loved how some of the women even started learning medicine. So another favorite character of mine was the commander nephew's I think his interest.
His
I forgot.
fiance, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot her name, but like she to me, like,
Tao Tao or something.
oh
Fong Tao
yes,
Tao. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I love her.
I love her too because I actually resonated more with her because she to me was like a lady. Like, you know what I mean? Like how a lady should be. The way that she presented.
Traditional presenting, yeah.
Yes. You know, and I think that like not that there was anything wrong with Huyen, but like for the girlies like me who have both qualities, it's just like I relate more like my masculine tendencies come out in the form of servitude. You know, I'm
Okay.
assertive. I'm assertive when it comes to helping people.
Yeah.
I take it very seriously. And one of my favorite scenes was when they were at war and she was seeing her fiance, like the commander's nephew, like tending to all of those wounds, like the soldiers' wounds, and we just saw like this her guard that she had of not wanting to marry him kind of soften.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, like, have we in our lives had that moment where like we probably had a guy that wanted us, but we weren't really, you know what I'm saying, trying to get with him. And then there's that one thing that he does, and it's just like you just see him in a completely different way.
It's like I was blind, but now I could see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would you say, like, out of the scenes, like, what would you say is probably like when it comes to like not just the commander and Hoyen, but like just in general, like what scene stuck out to you the most where you're like, oh, this is redefining my whole version of love and relationships?
Ooh, that is a really, really good question.
Yeah.
Redefining, I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Yeah. Because like I remember, so like I just remember like in high school where I had my first crush. Cause like I wasn't really the girl that was like super boy crazed until high school. And I
Okay.
just remember like having my first crush, and I just remember that feeling like I viewed you as my friend. Like so platonic. You know, I had no feeling towards you at all. And I just remember like one day I forgot, like I think I forgot a sheet, and he had printed it out a sheet on his lunch and gave it to me during class. And I don't know what came over me, but I just remember that being like the most softest, gentlest like thing, like
Kindness, yeah.
the most kindest thing that anybody has ever done. And I'm just like, oh my God, like that's the quality that I would love to have in a man. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. It just came to me. So it's like my least favorite scene, but as far as
Mhm.
like changing my perspective on how I view love,
Yeah.
when when the emperor made the when he made the commander like choose either give up your title or Heian gives up her title and then
Oh,
you guys can be together
yeah.
or you guys keep your titles but you cannot be together. So you had brother Chu or whatever that liked her, right? And
Yeah.
he claimed he loved her, and you have the commander who loves her. Now
Yeah.
now brother Chu, whoever who claimed that he loved her, he was thinking about himself. He was like, I want her to marry me,
Yeah.
right? Even though it wouldn't benefit her, even though that she wouldn't be happy. The commander was like, I'm going to sacrifice for her well-being because I know how much it means for her to have this title, to be a general. She's worked every day. I cannot strip her of that. So he took the approach of like, I'm gonna make this hard decision out of love. And if we're meant to be, we'll be. And it was hard and it was hard to watch, but it was like a sacrificial love that he showed. And then after like a little bit of time he realized like yeah, I cannot be without her. Like even if we can't have the marriage title, like you're the only person I'm going to claim to be my wife. So and then love, and then they end up getting married, so love prevailed anyways. But that selfless act of love is like wow.
It's everything. And you know what? I'm so happy that you brought that scene up because that was honestly probably like out of all the scenes. Like I know it was your least favorite. It was my top favorite. Like
Okay.
I love that. I mean, I hated the feel like when the way I boo-hooed during this, and he just brings her the scroll and he's just reading it and his hands are just
He's like
shaking,
yeah.
and I'm just and like seeing her come out so happy to see her man, so happy to be a part of what they were doing with the engagement, and you just slowly see the trickle down effect of like her and him and the anger that she had, and she's just like, I am not doing, like it took me eons to even get to this spot. Like I've been betrayed before and now you feel like, why would you do this now? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And why not just tell me? And I think that honestly, I was kind of mad at the commander because this is another thing about leadership. Sometimes leadership will force you to make decisions for people. And when we talk about like the masculine and feminine traits, typically the feminine kind of like yields to the masculine when it comes to like decision making. But when it comes to matters of the heart, I just feel like no one's choice should be taken. It
Yeah.
should be up to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he could have communicated with her what was going on to give
Right,
her the option.
right.
Yeah, that was the one flaw I saw of the commander because I'm like, man, why didn't he tell her? Why didn't he tell her? But then we see he told the emperor, please let her choose if she wants to marry him.
Sacrificial love. And this is the whole thing that I like about that. It showed the reason why Brother Chi would have never even been an option for her because she was already living in a time where her choice had already been taken. Even if she didn't want to become, you know, like the general, whatever, before that we saw her identity was first taken from her being young, and her brother, they like her family felt like in order to save like the, you know, status of their family she would have to become, you know, her brother. And so her choice had been taken from her since she was young. So the fact that he understood that in the short amount of time they were together, I was like, this is a testament to how love should be. Like you should be like
Yeah.
you should not be in a bind. It should not be forced. Whatever you feel, like it should come naturally and organically. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Because look at what happened when they joined forces at the end. They were able to like be more successful
Yeah.
versus when the commander and Heian they were separated.
Mhm.
because the emperor was threatened that together they would be too powerful. When they were separated, like a very close friend died. You know,
Yeah.
the Jacob's daughter. You know, like together they were stronger and better.
Yeah.
Apart, there were problems. You know, like I just felt like they had such a strong, like I. So in this series, it wasn't like the romance wasn't the focus. It's
Yeah.
like the female empowerment was the main character,
Yeah.
you know, and then the romance was like best supporting actor. It
Yeah.
was like the supporting role.
Girl, I told you when we first talked, y'all, when I first talked to Erica, I said, like, she was just like, so how you like? I was just like, this is not a love story. The writers marketed this as a whole love story. I'm looking for the roses and the petals. Like, and I think when you watch Cdramas, like, it's a hit or miss, right? Like, you have to get used to the slow burn because in the Asian community, it's not like there are structures to how you court a person, but like you
Yeah.
like there it just wasn't the case in that way. And so when I saw it, I was just like, this is not a love story. Like this is just a Mulan's tale, a modern day Mulan's tale. And that's just it. But you learn throughout the story that the journey of self love, out of the journey of self love and loving yourself, it attracts the right person to you.
Facts. And I feel like this is a good series to like watch and then rewatch it because
Yeah.
this I'm on my rewatch, right? Second time I'm watching it, I noticed the like subtle hints of romance early on.
Yeah.
But I see it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like way back to even before she revealed that she was a woman, I see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you know, the thing was for me, bro, when she said, I forgot what the conversation was, but in the beginning of it, when she said, I don't know how I'm going to do this, like, you know, because we have to understand that they knew each other before she even was enlisted in the army. So
Yeah.
when she had done all that she had did to, you know, to even get in the army, and the minute she gets in there, she's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and da 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 da. Well, one day, like the subtle romances started when he saw her practicing just out. And she
Yeah.
said, well, can you teach me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and we just saw the chemistry even from there, like, you know, before it unfolded. This is why I did a video recently on TikTok and I was talking about how the slow burn of Cdramas and Kdramas is the recipe. It's the secret sauce to why Cdramas are so popular because
Yeah.
nobody can appreciate something that's rushed. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's facts. Actually, and this is gonna, based off of what you said, taking it back to what you originally asked me, like what
Yeah.
drew me to seeing K dramas, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Love Island Nicolandria last season, their story was like the first time I ever really saw a slow burn. Like it took the whole darn season for them to get together, and they went through ups and downs, right? And then I was like, after I saw that, I'm like, what do I watch now? What do I like? Nothing. Like I need that same feeling. Netflix drops a list of like TV shows and movies that give you that Nickelandria feeling. Crash Landing on You was one of the options, the K drama, and I was
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, I'm gonna give this a try. Watch Crash Landing on You. I'm mind blown. I'm
Mm,
like, I need more. I need more. Like this show is so freaking good.
yes.
And then there goes my K drama, C drama journey right there.
Yeah, and it to me, it's so sexy. Like it is so sexy when because look at Nick and Alejandria now. Like they're on top of the top. Like everybody's
Yes.
talking about them. She's getting her brand deal. She's getting the recognition that she deserves. Beautiful black chocolate woman, a goddess in my eyes. And I
Yeah.
feel like when it comes to things that take their time, you always appreciate it in the end. And I think that that's why C dramas have become so popular because everything is rushed now. Everything is a hookup. Everything is about a way to serve self instead of what can we do to serve each other? Are we good for each other? Not just in the short term of temporary satisfaction, but are you good for me in the long term? Are you good for me 10 years, 20 years from now? You know, like those are
Yeah.
questions we should be asking ourselves when it comes to the realm of dating. And that's I think that's why C dramas and K dramas have so much influence, you know? Because it's
Yeah, every
different.
time I watch one, I feel like I'm going on a journey.
Yes.
Like that's the best way I can compare it. Every time I watch a C drama or a K drama, I'm like, buckle my seatbelt, I'm going for a journey. And like it and a lot of them it takes a while to build the storyline out, but you gotta be patient.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta be patient. You gotta get through the first episodes. Because
Child,
it's
but
worth it.
who did I talk to? I forgot who I spoke to. I think it was one of my followers, and she said something like, even like it could be 40 episodes, and even if they don't touch by like episode 30, them last 10 episodes are the juiciest episode.
It
And
was
you
all worth it.
literally all worth it in the end. And it's like,
That's why we don't sleep at night. We can't even go to sleep at night
yeah,
because we gotta see what happened next.
it literally. So out of everything, like out of everything, who would you say, like what character out of this story was the one who surprised you the most?
Ooh, which one surprised me the most?
Yeah.
Surprised. I'm gonna go with brother Chu.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say he surprised me the most because in a sense he was villainous, but then in a sense I felt bad for him. I felt empathy towards him. Also, with him, like I didn't expect him to really like fall for her like he did. Because
Yes.
the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking his maid servant is the one for him.
Girl. So can we talk about the fact that there are men? Like, what do you do as a okay, so as a woman, what do you do when you have all these feelings for someone and you have like everything about you fits this person's profile and you just don't have like the bandwidth or like the mental fortitude to like stand up and like say your feelings, like how do you process that? Like, do you just
I
say it? Do you just come out and be like we rock together on every like what's the like why are you so caught up with this chick? Like let or are you the type of person that's just like I'm just gonna let life just unfold and go with the flow, being a good little girl.
That's interesting. Okay, look, I'm a Scorpio,
Yeah.
and I cannot force somebody to see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so and also I'm like big on like I don't know. I feel like the maidservant in this situation, I'm really glad that she didn't push this on him because I have this whole thought. I don't know, this might be toxic, but it's like, you know what? If she can get him, she can have him.
Okay.
I
That's
only want him
that,
if he wants me.
that's real.
That's
It's
just me,
real.
though. That's just me.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. I love Jesus. God know I do. I'm a Sagittarius. If I like you, I gotta get that off my chest. I don't care. Like I don't know what it is about me. We are fire. Like, right? Like we are fire by nature. So we're passionate. It's not
Yeah.
because a crush to us is not just like a crush. It's like I have taken inventory of every single aspect of you, the negative part, the positive part. And I know you and I would be magic. So even if you, now I'm not going to force you. So even if you don't like me, that's fine. But I got to get it off my chest, which is why I wasn't necessarily so mad at her, nor was I mad at him. Like I was more irritated at the fact that she was upset. Because if it's that big of a deal, like even if you're a maid, whatever, I don't care. Like if you love somebody, you love somebody. You know what I mean? So don't be a coward. Like when it comes to matters of the heart, I'm just like so, and like I told you, I'm a lover girl. So it's like follow your heart. I don't care, sis. Like the heart won't what the heart won't. I don't care. Like skip all that. Like I don't care. So I don't know. I think who shocked me the most.
Like I feel you on that, and I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I just personally don't like rejection.
Okay.
That is me. I feel like if I'm getting rejected, I will be like, dang, I should have just kept my cards close. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been mad at it if she would have said something. I felt like when she died in his arms, he then realized, and it was like, okay, too little, too late.
Yeah. Can I say this though? I might be a butthole. Really care too much when she died. Like when I look, okay, wait a second. Okay, wait a second. So that's gonna sound so bad. Okay, because okay, I hate the way she died. Let me say
Yeah,
that. I hate the way she died. But I just felt like Brother Chu, and this is a testament, this kind of goes into my next question. Like when it comes to your least favorite character versus your favorite character, I'm the type of person I can find positives and negatives in anybody. But Brother Chu had a lot that he had to get over, especially when it came to his mother dying. So the qualities that Hoyen had, he saw, right? Which is
yeah,
what drew him to her. So for me, as a maid servant, if that was your target, if that guy was your target the whole entire time, or whatever the case may be, why would you lay doormat to that if you knew that that's who he was attracted to? If that's
mhm.
the case, I'm cutting off my like feelings like towards it. So jumping in front of an arrow for you or whatever the case may be, or a sword, like I'm not gonna do, like, you know what I mean? Like it just wouldn't be of me to do that. Um Especially if I knew I've taken care of you, I've done everything that you asked me to do, I'm spying on you, I'm putting myself in harm's way for you. Like, what else do you want me to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, for me, Brother Chu was actually my least favorite character, but there were some things that happened in the story where I was like, "Mm, I don't hate him that bad. I don't like
Yeah,
him."
I mean, it honestly, it could have been way worse. He did do some good things. Like
Yeah.
he did turn against his master
Yeah.
for the plot, and I
Yeah.
was glad he did that. And
Yeah.
he did have like a moral compass to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And her brother, Herufe, he's he's the worst one of the series.
That your least favorite character?
Oh yeah, the brother.
Yeah. I
He
think
was so delusional, and the so it's like the brother and the chancellor,
yeah.
the brother and brother choose master,
Oh, yeah. Okay, 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 yeah. So for
and his daughter,
which one?
and his daughter, the brother choose master's daughter, the one who even after her father died and she was just thought she was so high and mighty. She's
Yes.
the one that killed the girl, right?
Yeah, she was a weirdo. She was a weirdo. And you know who else I don't like? And some people might like not agree with me, but the Emperor. And I think I said that to you like on the first time when we were talking about this. It
Yeah.
did not that did not change for me. So let's take it back to episode 5. When
Okay.
when everybody was starting to, get enlisted into the army, people were starting to train and everything like that. We have to take into account how strong the military is. Without military, it's impossible for a world to live in peace. I think that a dynasty, a kingdom, a country is made up of three things. That's the military, that is the people who are, structuring it, so like politics and everything like that, and the people. If you don't have one of those three things, everything will fall with it. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like for me, when they said in episode 5, they were the commander was worrying about like provisions and food and like the resources that they had, and his second in command was basically saying that the emperor has limited our resources, and when he asked him why, he gave him like this shady comment and was saying like, oh well, the crops haven't drained properly or anything like that, and it's just like, but there wasn't any natural disasters, there wasn't anything that was happening that was so scarce that they couldn't provide for the military. And I just feel like when you are a person who's fighting tooth and nail, like you're on the battlefield in the slums, like in the fields, keeping like your country safe, like the funding for that should be like your top priority. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
people who are fighting for your peace and your country, like that should be like above one. And I feel like I'm seeing a reoccurring like instance in a lot of C dramas where even to this day, like the military, like the provisions for them and everything like that is not taken seriously as it should be.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it causes like a chain effect.
Yeah, it
Starts
does.
in the head and then it trickles on down.
I wonder if that's like, I wonder, like, I have this theory, like, I wonder if they're actually like making a statement. Like, there needs to be more like reparations or like, you know, provision for military like commanders and generals and people who fight every day to keep us safe. And like, I don't know. I just feel like I will never respect a leader like that. So yeah, he was my least favorite character from The Legend of the Female General. Um, who surprised me the most? I would have to actually say Hoyen. Hoyen surprised me
Okay.
the most because I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's take it back to your answer when you were talking about when they were supposed to be engaged and
Uh-huh.
they had to kind of like pick and choose if they wanted marriage or their title. I am often surprised by women who are completely they are in the realm career that they want. They have the man that they want, but when it comes down to like love, they still choose themselves. I don't know why I am often impressed by that. Maybe it's because that would never be me. So
Yeah.
when it comes to my career, money, or whatever, I'm gonna choose my heart every time. I'm like, because those things are not in my heart. My husband would be in my heart, my children would be in my heart, my family would be in my heart. And I'm often shocked at women who are like, well, I'll just have him in my life. No, baby, I need that title. If I'm a wife, I need that. I need to hear him. My love language is words of affirmation. We talked about that too. Like, I need to have that. I need to have the wedding. Need to like, I need that. Is that the meme going on? I need that. Yeah, need that.
I need that. Well, that part was, I think this is like a really significant part in the in the series,
Mm-hmm.
because when I was watching it,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I would choose love. For sure. I'm a lover girl. I'm a certified lover girl. I'm choosing love. Forget whatever. But
Yeah.
then when I watched her choose her title and him choose his title, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought like had she chose love, then it would be like, then what? At
Mm-hmm.
first, you'll be in the honeymoon phase and it'll all be like worth it. But the honeymoon phase wears off.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be going off to war as a general doing what she has desired to do and work so hard for. And it's like, what was her hard work for? And
It's true.
like, I'm so glad that she chose herself,
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately she got both.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you did. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. This is why when wisdom comes in the door, you gotta listen. So if that's the case, as we're ending, like wrapping up here, if that's the case, what would you say? Because I missed that. Like I would have missed that. What would you say is one thing that viewers might have missed from watching Legend of the Female General?
I really think that people might have missed how the more she was getting closer to her fulfilling her purpose, the more in love with her the commander was falling. That's what I think.
Queen, Queen, that was the answer.
Yeah.
That was the answer. I have nothing to say. That is so true. That is so true. I don't even think you and I talked about that. Is so true.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Oh my God. I just have to, that, I just have to, wow. That is so true. But that goes back to what we were saying, that this story was really about self, the journey of self love, what that looks like. And I know I jokingly said, like, this is not a love story, but it actually is. And when you are in tune with yourself, the right love will come to you.
Yes. And
Yes,
it will be magic. It will be magical.
literally.
It
Because
will be, that's
to,
a fairy tale.
yeah, because they'll have to match your frequency. They'll have to match the way you love yourself, they'll have to match that 10 times. Like, you know,
And imagine like how beautiful a love like that could be. Two holes making a hole, not two halves making a hole.
yes. That yeah, I have yeah, that was the answer. That was the answer to that question. Okay, my last question. Um First and foremost, I just have to say thank you so much. Thank you so
Aw.
much for coming on this video with me. Y'all, it's actually a testament to God and how alignment works. When you're walking in your purpose, it is true that like the right connections and the right people will just naturally attract to you. I just hope that this is not only the last time, but this is the first of many of collaborations. I love to see Black women, especially in the field of content creation, influencer. I also want to say this too. We need scientists, we need doctors. This is not like I'm just making a PSA for just content creation in general, but I'm just happy to see Black women living in their elements, like rising
Yeah.
in their element. And for the every Black and brown girl out there, um, what message would you want to leave them when it comes to like following their dreams and following their purpose?
Oh my gosh, this hits so close to my heart.
Yes, I know,
Like
I know.
if like this might be what I'm most passionate about is speaking to women, especially like all women, especially women of color.
Yeah.
I just want to say like it doesn't matter like where you came from, it doesn't matter like where you started. All that matters is where you're going. Have a dream, be delusional about your dream,
Mhm.
stick with it. And don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do something. You are you're the narrator of this story here. Like you and God. Communicate with God about it. Like you can hit and now I'm gonna sound like quotes, but no, like you're the author of this story. You can hit them with a plot twist. You're allowed to change your mind. You do not have to be burnt out. You do not have to follow a certain path. You got to figure out what makes you happy and follow that path. And like when you do, magic will happen. The right people will drop, like people will separate from you, and that's okay. Let them.
Yeah.
Making room for the right people to come into your life, like
Yeah.
the right community that understands you, that supports you. Like
Mm.
literally just dream big and go after it. Like there's a nothing, literally nothing you can't accomplish.
Yes. I love that. Yes, I got her to come on this show. Like this is it. And let me tell y'all something. So, like, when I first met Erica, I was like so nervous, right? Because I was like, I'm, so Erica's been, versed in content creation more than I have. So I'm kind of like in my beginning stages. And so just the level of wisdom that she implanted in me when it
Oh,
comes to like manifesting. And I told you some of my, dreams and visions of like where I wanted to take my content creation, because I think content creation for me is just the journey. I don't think it's like my end goal. The goal is to evolve, beyond it. And so I think I told her, like I mentioned something like the reason why I started with Asian drama shows was because I've always liked it. This isn't something where it's like it was just a trend for me to do. Like I've been watching Korean shows since I was in middle school. And
wow.
it started with anime. So like for me, learning the language, like I have my little Korean binder here of learning the language, learning about the culture and everything like that. And she goes, Yeah, so when you go to Korea and you just do you start doing this, I want you to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Like, you're just as delusional as I am. And you were
Oh
like,
yeah.
no, like it will actually happen. And my message is to ditto what you just said. Like, no matter what it is, like, I think that it's important to see Black and brown women in these arenas when it comes to different cultures, because we don't have a lot of representation. And I think it's because a lot of Black women are probably not comfortable with showing there's like the dimensions of them, but we need to be confident in our multi-dimensional selves and just say, hey, this is me, this is what I like to do. I'm still proud to be a Black woman, but I love this and I love that. And you can see me in any, arena. And so I think it's also important also for us to support one another. So I will leave, with that being said, I will leave all of Erica's information in my description box and everything like that. I want you guys to follow her. I want you guys to like all her TikTok stuff. When you have friends and God brings you people to, just pour into you, you have to be gracious enough to pour back. Don't be selfish and like take all the glory for yourself. Like, there's enough for everybody. So thank you so much, Erica, for coming on to this show. Again, I hope this is the first of many. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel at Kelle Jemarie. And again, thank you so much. Love you guys. Peace. We out. All righty. I'm going
Oh my
to
God.
stop the recording. Oh my God, that was so much fun.
No, you're gonna make me cry.